We have a fantastic Browns Film Breakdown podcast for you. You are watching this on YouTube. It will only be a portion of the podcast, as we like to give all of our exclusive content to our supporters, and we also prefer an audio side subscription as well. So you can find the extended version of this pod in two locations, brownsfilmbreakdown.com, and you can find it on your favorite podcast network. The preview is meant to give you an idea of what we do here at brownsfilmbreakdown.com. Hopefully you will come over and join us. We appreciate you stopping by today. At the minimum, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. We will put exclusive content up here on YouTube, have things that we do from the website available for you. We're excited you're here to join us. Come over to the website and see what the Browns community that we're forming can do to enhance your experience. Thanks for being here today. Let's get started on the latest Browns Film Breakdown podcast. What up, guys? Welcome in. It's Brad Ward. It's me, Jake. We are here to talk about a Browns 53-man roster that was, Brad, a full day of movement, maybe a little less trade movement than we hoped for, but there's a lot of stuff to figure out come Wednesday. So we'll see here by noon, the waiver time period, what it all looks like. We got a lot to discuss. We're going to talk about everybody who made the roster and every surprising cut, and we're excited to do it. Brad made some fantastic graphics for you that we'll play throughout to show you who made the team. Got a lot to do. Brad, what's up, man? What's happening? How's your Tuesday, brother?
It was good. Good day. Busy day, staying busy. But in a busy day for the Browns, as to be expected around the NFL as well. Some surprising stuff.
Yeah. I'm picking up my son in line at school, checking my phones. I imagine you're at work, like just alert city going on here. How do you do?
Yeah.
How do you navigate that?
It's difficult. I was in a house for like 7 hours today, so I was like radio silent. Couldn't even look at my phone for like most of the whole first half of the day. So I was pretty like trying to catch up in the afternoon. But yeah, thank God for Apple CarPlay, right? And
that's right.
But yeah, did you see that the Saints are going to roll with Spencer Rattler?
Well, that's the race for top pick next year. Not if you think that the belief of Arch Manning and the Haslam connection is real, think about the New Orleans side of the whole romantic story. So it feels like the Rams are in a race, the Saints are in a race. Excuse me, the Rams are at the top of my mind because of last weekend. The Saints are in a race to, pull off that Arch Manning relationship and all of that. So I'm not surprised. I don't think I don't know if you watched any, Brad, but I watched some of their stuff, and Chuck had some moments, but just some really rough play as well. That just, it doesn't surprise me that they don't want to just throw him into it. And I don't think that franchise is in the mood to care about winning in a serious way. They don't have that Myles Garrett tier of guys in that stage of their career, the Delpits, the Wards, where the Browns sort of have to live in both places. And I continue to think that's why they made the trade they did last year, because, if you were going to be bad organically, Brad, the state of your roster going into the next season, you probably just take Travis Hunter, collect that rare asset, and go into next year thinking we feel like we're going to get a top 5 pick. There's no way around it. But this roster with the pieces it has, doing what it did in 23, and knowing the veteran nature of some of these guys, I think the thought was, seriously, if we want to have a chance at a real quarterback in 26, we have to have double firsts. We've got to have it. And ironically, I would love to have double firsts in 27, because that class looks ridiculous. If you pay attention to college football, the Ryan Williams at Bama, Jeremiah Smith, there's just, the edge rushers between like Colin Simmons at Texas and the kid Dylan Stewart at South Carolina. It's wild, but the class of quarterbacks this upcoming season might be better. So long story short, that's why I've come to accept. I think the Saints are more of like the theory I have, running theory on this show, and I wouldn't expect you to know it so much, Brad, because we haven't really got into that, is that tanking comes from the front office. Like, it doesn't come from players. They're playing hard. They're doing their thing. Coaches are doing their thing. It's decisions made above. So the Saints doing that, no surprise to me in the slightest. I think the thing that had to surprise you the most today would be checking your phone after being in that house doing your thing.
Oh my God.
And all of a sudden, DeAndre Carter's not cut. That's like the first big piece of news today, is Mary Kay Cabot is out with like, hey, he's not cut. I don't know if it was a change of like, I don't think that was the message that Jordan Schultz, who I think broke it the night before,
Yeah.
would have gotten wrong. So it does
That's
feel to me like they made a change here overnight and decided to alter their plan. Does that feel the same to you?
I have no idea. Have no feel for it. Like, I didn't know if Schultz missed. You know what I mean? But, like,
Yeah.
I guess the way she reported it lends me to think that maybe they changed their mind. You know what I mean? Like, he's
That's
not
the
cut.
vibe.
You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
vibe I
Like,
had.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
it's
that the
weird though.
hunch from the agent was probably that he is getting cut. He heard something, told Schultz, and then it would be really weird to see that both sides getting out in front of being wrong about that. So
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the big news is that they let go of Deontay Johnson early today, which told
Yeah.
us, okay, we're back to the 3 for 2 spots battle, and now Gage is in. And that's probably the theme here, Brad, before we talk about the trade, is that these guys kept a lot of UDFAs and rookies. So you're talking what, 12 total rookies on the team as of now. We'll
Yeah.
see if they alter anything, but I think that's the number. That's like, okay. So if we go over UDFAs they kept, and we'll talk about this in detail here, and you kind of just include the kicker, Brad, because the kicker hasn't
Yep.
played in NFL games like that. Gabriel and Sanders are 2 rookies. Samson's 3. Going through again, Bond is 4. Larvadane is 5. Fannin is 6. Offensive line wise, no rookie there. On the defensive line, Mason Graham is 7. Huntington is 8. And then 9 is Easton Mascarenas Arnold. I did not
Yep.
see that one coming. I know Andrew Berry
EMA.
had big words. Yeah, we got to go EMA on that one. You're right.
EMA.
He had big words for him during the game, and there have been moments we saw him flash, but that was like, oh, okay,
Well,
that's interesting.
well, I will say before you finish counting, you're at
Mhm.
9.
I'm
I don't wanna
gonna count
interrupt you there.
silently while you're talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do think that is a direct result of Winston Reed getting an injury designation. That if he's healthy, I don't think that happens. Is that
Yeah, I think there's
fair
a
to
lot of
assume?
easy explanation stuff here for some of these for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yes. I think that's probably a 1 + 1 = 2 scenario there, where we didn't know
Yeah.
what Winston Reed's situation was. He was inactive for the game, was dealing with a back injury, and is now on IR. So yeah, you're right about that. That's probably it. But I got 12. With the kicker, it's 12. So that's a lot of
Listen.
inexperience. Now you hope these are good players that they're
Yeah.
doing this with, but that's an encouraging thing, right?
Like, if you keep EMA on the practice squad and they like what
Mhm,
he's done, everybody else I really like. Like, I like the UDFAs. I like Donovan.
mhm.
I've talked about how I like Dom Jones. He made it. And then, obviously everybody else that was drafted, they bring in Bond, the kicker, everything. But like, if as you're moving forward, if they all kind of hit and work, what an influx of young talent. Like, in 1 year, you could hit a ton of young talent with this group. There is the
It's
potential there
exciting.
for them to make
Yeah.
a massive impact on this franchise.
You do need that. The Browns are due for a class that can reshape the core
Yes.
part of the roster. So that would be really encouraging. I'm totally with you.
Judkins
And
comes back. He
yeah, that would
becomes
be
who
13. I didn't even think about
Yep.
that. So that's the 13th guy if you include the kicker. It's 12 if you don't want to include the kicker. But yeah, I mean that's the big thing. There's one more thing I want to talk about before we get into pulling up the
Yeah.
names and walking through it. And this is, like I said, Browns Film Breakdown, brought to you by Monfredi Dental. We appreciate them very much for sponsoring every single thing we do here. Browns Film Breakdown. If you're a Central Ohio person looking for a fantastic dental office just south of Hilliard, you won't find a better one down here where I'm located. Vouch for them. Great people, great service, unbelievable. So a big thank you to Monfredi Dental. Get over there and let them take care of all of your dental needs. We got a trade, Brad. So they traded a 2028 7th, which feels like a Madden trade, like 3 years
Nothing.
off 7th round
What
pick.
is that?
Nothing.
What is that? Yeah.
That's a big bunch of nothing. It sounds like
Yeah.
you're doing the Rams, who are overloaded at tackle, a favor. So they go out, they trade for KT Leviston. Now, not a name I expect anybody to know. Was this 254th pick out of Kansas State in the 24 draft. He joined the Rams, had some impressive camp moments for them. They liked him, had an ankle injury, and then they got funky with it. They decided to keep him in their setup. They IR'd him and then brought him. They never brought him back. They just kept him there so that they could keep him on the roster without ever exposing him to waiver wire. Thus, obviously, keeping him away from the practice squad. So I can't comment on whether that injury, which was just labeled as a sprained ankle, was so. It could have been a high ankle sprain. High ankle sprains can be really gnarly. So I don't want to say this is
Yeah.
something super nefarious here, but they
Feels like
kept him around. They also have him this preseason playing tackle for them, left tackle, which is primarily what he played at Kansas State. He's shaped a bit more like a guard. He's more power
guard.
based than length and
Mhm.
arm length and torso and all that traditional tackle stuff, but he doesn't have really guard experience. He just kind of looks a bit more like kind of like Batonio in all
Yeah.
reality, more
Mhm.
barrel chested type of guy. More run blocker than pass blocker, but I think there's some encouraging stuff there. I'm going to put the opener tomorrow a bit more in depth on him, a little bit more in depth on these UDFAs who we just haven't really spotlighted because we don't want to. Time's thin, and you
We
don't
didn't
know
know.
who they're going to keep, who matters, right? So, yeah, I like some of the things I've seen. I posted a pretty. I mean, I don't. No one had really seen it. I just had watched the film, Brad, and I was like, oh god. So there's a play where they're running split zone, and he's
I saw it.
stepping to his
Yeah.
left and matching and Joe Tryon-Shank and carries him. I mean, this is like 10 yards downfield. It's pretty abnormal amount of
Yeah.
domination. So I wanted to highlight that one kind of right away, which is caught wind amongst Browns, followers and all that stuff. So it's available on the opening drive for yesterday if you missed it. So check that out. But I will be a
So
bit more in depth. I'm going to watch more film. But what do you think? Do you like it? They needed a fourth tackle.
yeah,
Curious your
I
thoughts
mean,
when you saw it.
yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about him yet
Yeah.
to really be like, that's a great move. And what they gave up is nothing of meaning, but they needed a body that they felt stronger about him than they did Barton and Lorenzo Thompson, period.
Mm-hmm.
So is this the interesting thing is they've done this before where like they just identify a guy that they're playing in the preseason, like they watched him, they saw him on tape, so it caught their eye, and then they
Yep.
flipped a pick for him. I think the same thing happened with Halasi, right? Weren't they playing
That's what
Minnesota
I
in
wrote.
preseason?
Yeah.
Like,
They
yeah,
played
so
Kansas City 2 years ago. That final, remember the game
yeah,
one,
Kansas
Thornhill
City.
had that interception,
Yeah,
the pick six, and was his like I guess one of his one shining moments as a
yeah,
Browns player. But they claimed Khalif on the waiver wire the next few days later. So it's the same thing. Your week 3 opponent, they really like him. They watch their own game tape. They're like, okay, who's 70? That's interesting. Are you guys interested in keeping him, moving him? You get
yeah,
that quick call. It's kind of funny. He flies into Cleveland abruptly Friday, flies back to LA the next day, and then is now back in Cleveland. Was there
yeah,
practicing today, so it was all
yeah.
pretty abrupt. Good, but a good one.
He
I
looks
like it to go with Lucas and the backup. He looks the part. I mean, it's early. We'll watch
yeah,
more tape, but it's good.
I will tell you this without watching any film, just a Brad opinion here. He looks like a mean son of a gun, man. He looks like a tackle. He looks like an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
He looks like he's gonna rip your head off. So,
I like linemen who
uh,
look like bouncers. If you could post
yep,
up at the door and people aren't messing with you, I'm good with that. That's a good trait to it's a good trait to have. For every Jack Conklin, little pretty boy
y-
look. I'm into the dudes who are throw them out of the club
yeah.
types as well.
So with
Those
that one clip that I saw where he dominated Tryon Shoyinka and his mean look, so far I'm in. Yeah, that's all I
Do
know
you
about
think
him
they
really, though.
show that highlight of that block and like Joe's like, oh God, that's not
It
great.
can't be good. It's kind of embarrassing, right? Like,
It's not,
don't put him in on
yeah,
rundowns.
yeah,
Maybe
that's it. That's
so.
it. There we go. Okay, listen, we're
Yeah,
going to take a quick break. That's the news as we came to understand it before the Browns dropped the 53, and then there's bigger news. So we're going to take a break, come back from break, talk about the 53 and every bit of like the announcements. The none of this leaked. So really, it was like, oh, the 53 is here, and here are these big things that came out with it. So we're going to discuss all of that after the break. We'll be right back. Brown's Film Breakdown is proudly sponsored by Monfredi Dental. It's no secret, most folks, myself included, don't look forward to going to the dentist, but I'll tell you, this is the spot that changed my entire experience. Friendly staff, great people from start to finish. They take care of every minor detail. They get to know you like family. and I just could not recommend this place enough. Locally, as I said, here in Columbus, Ohio, just south of Hilliard. And if you're looking for the perfect experience, going to the dentist, this is the spot to go to. They're family owned. They're going to take care of you like you're one of their own. They work with just about every insurance plan you can find, and the staff is friendly, the service is excellent, and you're going to leave with a beautiful smile. So trust me on this one, guys. Go to Monfredi. They proudly sponsor everything we do here at Browns Film Breakdown, a group of Browns fans over there, and I could not recommend them more. So make sure you go to MonfrediFamilyDental.com today. That's MonFredi FamilyDental.com today and get started with an appointment right now. All right, let's go, Brad, right from the top and just work our way down, and we'll talk about the big news as they arrive. Well, before we do that, because some names won't be on that list, let's just update what the Browns put out for their stuff above the roster. So here are people that were waived or terminated, and then we'll go through. Actually, let's go through the injuries first. So past physical, all of a sudden, is Mike Hall. I haven't heard anything about him. All of a sudden, Mike Hall's passed a physical, and he's on the 53. I mean, pretty encouraging, Brad. I talked to people in the Streetsboro area that know that he's good to go. He's going to get out there and practice. He's going. I mean, this is huge for this defensive line. You would agree. I mean, this is why Sam Kamara is cut, because he's ready. But that's like, you know, I've been whispering about this for like 2 weeks. I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't seen him much. I don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden, snap your fingers, and he's past the physical and he's ready to roll.
It's massive. It's huge for the Browns as far as the first few games. And, you know, I don't know how ready he's going to be to play, but he passed physical. I mean, I don't know what that means as far as like how far he is along in return to play. But if you remember when Briggs got moved, I was like, I think maybe it could be that Hall, you know what I mean? Aiden Huntington's going to make it, and Hall is probably closer to being back than we think. And then we were kind of like, yeah, but we haven't heard a damn thing, you know? So it was like, well, I guess, you know, we don't really know. Well, here he is, the day of, I mean, of all things, you know, they really kept that under wraps. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised anymore, though, with the Browns. They just keep the stuff under wraps really well.
They do, and then they'll tell you one thing and totally course correct. They're turning into real masters of manipulation. But we get the Mike Hall news, then we learn Winston Reed simultaneously that Easton Mascarenas-Arnold makes the roster. Winston Reed, you made a great point, Brad. Probably tied together those two in a dance here. We'll see. Maybe Easton is so good in these first 4 weeks or so, they can't let it happen. They can't expose him to waivers. And really, Mahmoud Diabate is on the 53, but as we know, I don't know if I haven't looked. This is my bad to everybody out there. I didn't look at who the reporters noted didn't practice today or did practice today in terms of the guys who had been missing sessions. So this is like something we could be updating in the coming days. But yeah, I mean, this is like a player, you know, we going with EMA could find the field, and he'll have a chance to prove that the Browns shouldn't expose him to waivers, period. Right. That's a part of this for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the Diabate thing is a huge question. I have no idea if he practiced today. I don't think he did. I would be surprised if he did, but no injury designation makes me got to think that he's at least day to day at the most. You know what I mean? So,
well, here's your group that didn't practice today. I should have noted this ahead of time, but it's okay. Well, we got to it now. So Diabate again didn't practice, and there's no designation.
Right.
Don't know. Mike Hall still didn't quite practice yet, but I would imagine in the coming days or the next 5, he's going to get close, ready to go. Posick didn't practice, which is expected. Still down Cornelius Lucas with the ankle. Blake Whiteheart, who's on the roster, tight end with a knee designation, and then Shelby Harris had no designation. So team doesn't have to release an official injury report until next Wednesday. So those are just guys not out there. But Stefanski said, as Daniel Oyefusi, who I got this from the ESPN Cleveland reporter, that Harris was at practice today. So the last time we saw Diabate was August 2nd, Brad. So
yeah, it's been a minute. No update at all. So we're once again kind of in that area where we were with Mike Hall, where they like to keep us around these injuries. They don't have to give us anything yet. They're not gonna. They keep asking every day. There's no new news. So, but the fact that he doesn't get a designation tells you something, at least. Like, because if they expected him to miss games, then he would have gotten designated, right?
Well, you think, because there was like today, the Buccaneers also passed Tristan Wirfs, who had a surgery relatively recently, and Chris Godwin came back. They
Yeah,
labeled them as passing physicals. What that tells me, if you didn't designate them as one of your two, is that you don't expect them to miss 4 games.
4 games.
So if you think they're going to be back, maybe by week 1, by week 2, or even week 3, you
Yeah,
just don't do that because you want them out. So the hunch to me is like, we can't guarantee you Mike Hall will be ready to go 100% week 1, but their thought is in the next, because again, they don't even play until the 7th here. Like, we got a
right.
while just to get to the first game, let alone 2 and 3. I mean, week 3 games at the end of September. It's a full month away. So there's a
Yeah,
lot of time here. The expectation is that Mike's not going to miss 4 weeks. So
and
hopefully, if he gets
and
out
if it
there and
was even
practices, yeah,
close if it was even
right.
close, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
If
you're
it was
good.
even close to
Mhm.
thinking that, "Hey, they're gonna miss 3 between 3 and 4, we're not sure," they would probably lean towards designating them and having a player available. So it makes you feel like they're probably closer to 1 or 2 than they are to 4, at least in that's how I look at it. Like,
I agree,
I
Brian.
don't
I
think
agree.
they would do it for a game. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
they knew
I'm
exactly what was the outcome was.